Welcome to Manny's TV Talk, where we will talk about all of our favorite reality TV shows and news surrounding them. Grab a snack, a drink, and get comfortable because this starts now.
You are cultural, but you are still Western, and I love that about you.
Oh, she was there?
Oh my God. You're good.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the new episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 5. Let's get started. Episode starts with a rainy day. Ashley is walking into some store, and it's because they are going to a trip to Texas. Woohoo! Give it up to Texas. So they're going to Austin. Ashley is inviting them. So Mia is joining her in this little store, and so is Gizelle. So Mia is yet again throwing shade at the Grand Dame, and I'm just like, girl, is this how you want her to go back to hugging you? But Gizelle was really interested in Wendy, so she thinks that for Nneka to accuse Wendy's mom of doing witchcraft on her and the family, like, she's got to be telling the truth, she says. So, like, that's making her believe it. And same thing for Ashley. She says that Nneka has way too much conviction when she says it for her to be lying. I can't believe that Gizelle took it upon herself to call Jamal after the pickleball thing because she's so scared of the evil spirits. I was just like, well, Gizelle, you got some spirits yourself, so come on now. She loses no time in saying that Wendy, Eddie, and Susan are working together and that they're evil. So speaking of, Wendy and Eddie go to some sort of date on a little lunch thing, and they're discussing the pickleball and the whole fiasco. Wendy's playing the victim because how dare Nneka call her a bee? Eddie says that this is the first time that he's ever met Iyke, which I still think he's lying about that, and even in her confessional, Wendy was just acting very weird about it. So speaking of which, also, Nneka and Iyke are at the OBGYN office. They have decided to have this baby, and they're really working on it, but they're having some problems getting pregnant, and they're waiting for the doctor. As they're doing that, Nneka says that she does regret how the pickleball event ended up happening. In hindsight, she does wish she would have talked to Wendy one-on-one so it wouldn't have escalated as bad as it did. But the whole thing about the shrine just made her react like that. It just made her really angry. So then, as crazy as this is, the doctor that came in, his name is also Iyke, and he's also from Nigeria. Oh my gosh, what is going on? So the doctor talks about his sperm count, and then that she needs to take her prenatal vitamins and stuff like that. I don't know anything about that, but that's what they were talking about. But Nneka seemed to be feeling some sort of way. I think she was getting a little bit emotional, but Iyke kept on making these weird jokes. I don't know. Iyke and Nneka, I'm still trying to figure them out because they're new to us, but there's something about them that I don't know. Okay, but moving on to another couple, Mia and Gordon. They are also going to an appointment, but this one is for therapy. So after losing the business and having to downsize, there has been a lot of changes in their marriage. There's a lot of tension that's been building up. Mia says that she's even met with divorce attorneys. That's how bad it's gotten. I don't know what exactly Mia wants from Gordon, but she says that she wants him to retire. But then Mia talks about a pretty serious situation that happened with some attorney who took some money and then he took his own life. I'm not exactly sure what had happened in that moment, but the point is that things are hard with Gordon's extended family and with the primary family. Gordon says that at the end of the day, he doesn't want to stop working, and he doesn't think that Mia would want him to stop working either. I think this is a prime example of a transactional relationship. This man marries the young pretty lady, she marries the older rich man, but when the transaction stops coming through, we start to see the relationship dismantle. Okay, so moving on, days later, the girls are packing for their trip, and then they're heading to the airport and are ready to go to Austin. Surprisingly, Nneka and Wendy did exchange a few words on the airport, which were okay. So when they get there, Ashley is so extra. She divides the cars based on their zodiac symbols. I don't know. The first car ride was awkward AF. It was Robyn, Candiace, Mia, and Wendy. There was literally no talking going on. The other car was Gizelle, Karen, Nneka, and Ashley. Gizelle asked Karen, do you like Robyn? Be honest. And Karen says, I do want to see her win, but in true Grand Dame fashion, she starts talking about a pie in the freezer, some sort of idiom or riddle metaphor, but Karen seems chill this season. She definitely doesn't want any problems. They arrive at a very nice hotel. They had a suite that was fabulous. They had some delicious burgers and tacos waiting for them. Now this is nice. Unlike that Miami trip they took last year. They somehow talk about Robyn and Karen again, and she says, Karen says that Robyn is a pie right now, and half of the pie is in the freezer. It's hilarious because she drives Robyn crazy, so that's always funny to watch. So they freshen up a little bit and reconvene out in the patio. At first, it's just Wendy, Candiace, and Robyn. Wendy, Candiace, and Karen. Wendy says that she's okay with Nneka, she has no hard feelings, and then the other ladies start to come as well. So then Karen addresses the elephant in the room, Candiace and Gizelle. Candiace says that Gizelle clearly doesn't want to acknowledge her because she thinks that if she doesn't talk to her, she will disappear. But she says that she will stay. I was like, yes, Candiace. But then Gizelle says that for the sake of her children, she will not participate in anything that has to do with Candiace. I was just like, what does your kids have to do with this exactly? But Candiace is quick with it. So she says, well, you affected my future children by accusing their future father about doing things to you. In her confessional, not only does Gizelle double down on the allegations that she made against Chris, but she want to talk about the things that Candiace has said have affected her family in such a negative way. I was just thinking, well, what do you think you've been doing for the past 8 seasons, Ms. Gizelle? What do you think about all those families that you have affected? Like, come on now. So, in the meantime, Robyn and Mia go on a little walk. Mia says that she wants to say something to her that she doesn't really feel comfortable sharing with the rest of the other girls. So, she goes into a little bit more detail about the situation she was talking about with the therapist earlier. So, what had happened was, an attorney that was handling one of their properties ended up stealing some money, like putting it in escrow, taking a portion of the cut. Mia and Gordon opened up an investigation to see what was really going on, and they found out that he was stealing. They reported him to the bar association, so he lost his license and he took his own life. So Mia feels guilty in a way because this man had a daughter and a wife. So what if they hadn't reported him? Robyn also went through a similar situation and Mia was getting emotional. She cried about it a little bit. Listen, as unlikable as Mia is and the horrible things that she's done, I felt extremely bad for her. This was a very sad conversation. But going back to the other girls, Karen says that she noticed that Gizelle was very quiet at the pickleball game. Gizelle says, yeah, how could I not be quiet? The witchcraft stuff really took me aback. Candiace says the same thing, but Nneka says she still believes it because her in-law wouldn't have lied about that. So then for the first time in ages, Gizelle actually talks to Wendy. She says, let's be clear, your mom has also said things about Mia. Mia and Robyn happen to walk in that exact moment. So then Wendy pulls out her phone and reads that post that the mom put out against Mia. She wanted to point out that there was no witchcraft in it, but it was still pretty rough. Like it said that Mia was crater-faced, the Holy Ghost fire will come onto her, something about a thunderstorm. Now, granted, Mia had just attacked her daughter, so I understand that. But Mia says that when she read that, honestly, she thought she was sending her to hellfire. I don't think it helped Wendy's case to read that. But you see, now the story changes. Wendy does acknowledge that a phone call was made. So all y'all out there saying, oh, it was photoshopped, yeah, y'all are wrong. There definitely was a phone call made by Wendy's mom, but she's saying that it has nothing to do with Nneka, that it has something to do with Nneka's cousin-in-law. Nneka says, nice try, but your mom was saying that I was using your name for clickbait. Wendy pulls out her Nigerian card and says, how dare you, we're both Nigerian, you come after a fellow Nigerian sister. But Nneka says, your sister was saying that I was using your name for clout. Wendy says that her sister, Ivy, was friends with Nneka's in-law, Lebe. That's her in-law, cousin-in-law. They go back and forth, forth and back. Nneka has phone records. Wendy is saying it's not true. It comes to a point where I was like, enough of this. But then, you guys, oh my gosh, Wendy is caught in a major lie. Wendy says that she doesn't know Lebe, that Lebe is only friends with her sister. Well, production goes back to the archive, and there is footage of Wendy in a Nigerian party that she threw for the birth of her son, where not only is Lebe there, Wendy dedicated part of her speech to Lebe as an incredible example of a Nigerian woman. Child. That was the end of the episode. A few things about this. Okay, number one is there's definitely still stuff that we don't know. This whole notion of, I don't know her. That's lies. Both Nneka and Wendy have known of each other before the show. That's a fact. And they keep trying to make it seem as they didn't, which is why all these lies and all this stuff just seems weird. The second thing is, I don't think Wendy is intentionally lying, but I do think that the way she has been saying things about when it comes to the Facebook thing, LeBay, the phone call, it's almost as if she's trying to cover up something, and she might not be guilty, but it sure as hell does make her look guilty. Now, I looked on Twitter right now, and Wendy's going on a spree right now, and she's posting receipts of text messages that she did have with LeBay, where LeBay was trying to organize lunches between Wendy and Nneka before coming on the show. Wendy says that she knew that they were going to try to pin them against each other, so she tried to get ahead of that. I am losing my mind over this because I feel like we can have our opinions, but I feel like none of us truly know what is really going on. But what I will say is that I hope this is the last episode where they talk about this, because at this point it's just going to be back and forth. He said, she said, the cousin said, the sister said, the husband said. I think I speak for the majority of the people when I say we really don't care about this anymore. Let's just move on. But that was the end of the episode. Things will heat up. And I can't wait for the next episodes. But yeah, you guys, what were your opinions about this episode in particular and about this Nneka and Wendy thing? Are y'all tired of it? Let me know in the comments. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. You have a great one. Bye.